Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mountain Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
Hello, I'm Monica Weitzel. I'll be your host tonight for MetroEast's flagship program, Community Hotline. Our first guest is popular local musician Norman Sylvester. He is here with Tom Sinsick, the president of the campaign Healthcare for All Oregon. Find out about this issue and the fun musical party coming up to promote it. Then we'll talk with Meals on Wheels people about their event called Strides for Seniors. Last year's event was a blast. If you missed it, stay tuned to find out how you can join the fun this year. As always, good stuff is coming up on Community Hotline. Stay tuned, it's coming up next. Hi, welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. We've got a fun show tonight because we're going to start off talking with Norman Sylvester, the Boogie Cat, from our local musician, blues musician, who's here to talk about issue that's very close to his heart. And to talk about it with him, I have Tom Sinsick. He's the president of the Campaign for Healthcare for All Oregon. Thank you, gentlemen, both of you, for being on here.
Thank you, Monica, for having us.
Monica, this is a great opportunity, and thank you again.
You're really very welcome. You're very welcome. So, tell me, Tom, I'm going to start with you, if I can. Healthcare for All Oregon has been an issue for years. And your background is as a nurse, is that right?
Right, I'm a nurse. I worked in a hospital first, then I became a family nurse practitioner, and I worked in different communities around the country, basically rural East Tennessee. Then I worked for a tribe in Michigan. I actually worked for Corrections Health in the jail here for 3 years. And then most of my years, because I was always interested in schools, because I was a teacher first, and I worked in a school-based clinic for 25 years, giving kids the access to the health care they need when and where they needed it.
That's great. That's a great background for talking about healthcare for all Oregon, because you've seen the need throughout the country for the healthcare system to be revamped and changed to benefit everyone.
Well, one of these things that's going on right now, media around the state is talking about the suicide crises, and all of that stuff. That's a big thing. Yeah. So that access to mental health care for kids, and including right now, there's funding that's going on. They're looking at the state funding level to increase mental health counselors in the schools and school nurses as a very important access point. And that was very important. The work that I did is for kids in crisis that were in the schools.
You know, and I think kids have a lot more stress these days. I don't know why that is, but you hear about the suicides, and then you get the shootings and things like that, and then people will start talking about it, but then things calm down and they forget about how important it is. So getting this to become, to become a reality is really important. So how long have you you've been with Healthcare for All Oregon for a couple of years now?
Well, I've been president for almost a couple of years, but I'm working in the access to care ever since I became a nurse 38 years ago.
Yeah, long time. So Norman, how did you get involved in this?
Well, Monica, I've seen and I felt the need for health care. I've had surgeries that back in the day that I'm probably still paying for. And I've also played for a lot of benefits for musicians that didn't have health care that actually turned into later on celebration of life because they didn't have the routine examinations.
No, that's sad. That's a sad thing.
So my passion for it is just, for the fellow musicians and for my children and grandchildren and your children and, the whole thing. It's just that the future needs to be a little brighter for healthcare in our state, if it has to start here, but in our country as well.
Yeah, if you don't have health care, it's a scary world.
It's a lot of stress.
Yeah. Which isn't good for your health anyway.
No, right. And people, we
all.
know what's called toxic stress. It's a kind of a newer term.
Yeah.
But, raises blood pressure, leading to stroke, causes problems in pregnancy, the whole range of life.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Breaks up relationships and,
Yes,
the whole
absolutely
thing.
right.
Bankruptcies are not good for anyone, In any catastrophic health situation, the money, the payback is just too much. Yeah. And we just need to do something about it. The routine examination gives you that heads up.
Right. You know if something's wrong or something's going wrong.
You shouldn't have to make a choice between that and food or rent or whatever.
Yeah, and it's sad because a lot of people do.
Yeah, and I really appreciate what Tom was saying about the suicide prevention and mental health counseling and stuff like that. That's really needed as well.
Well, and having that in the schools, I think, is really important because you can catch stuff early. If people are trained to recognize the signs of mental health issues, and if there is access to support for those kids, you're going to be able to ward some of that off or help those kids early so that they don't grow into adults with more severe problems.
Yeah, see the red flags and the warning signs.
Yeah.
Conversation, communication.
Communication. That's where it all starts. That's good. So, Tom, there's something new that was in the news about this issue. What can you tell me?
Well, basically, it's the talk of the nation, and now becoming the talk of the state. Basically, a plan to get a universal health care system, a system where, again, people all use this phrase, access to the care they need when they need it, without the barriers of called co-pays, deductibles, insurance denials, those kinds of things that create a system, including, I'll go back to the thing, when people are seeking mental health services, you've got to go to this mental health provider, the one we pick for you, rather than the one that you like or the one that's available, or this nurse practitioner or this physician, right? Out to change the system. And what's going on right now in the Oregon State Legislature is a thing to create the Universal Healthcare Commission. That is to put us on a path to a single payer system in Oregon, where this commission, along with an advisory committee, and that advisory committee is a group of people that are sort of more on the front lines, getting the care or advocating for the care or providing the care, right?
Okay.
And right now that has moved through the Senate Healthcare Committee, and getting something through the Senate in Oregon is often seen as the challenge.
Yeah, that's
so
huge.
It's into the next phase, and of course we would invite people to contact their legislators and say, we need this Universal Healthcare Commission, because their job is going to be to gather the data and look how to create the system in Oregon over the next couple of years and bring it back to the legislature with the idea of probably an eventual vote of the people.
Right.
So that it's great. It's great news. This is a breakthrough thing. And then in addition, there's stuff going on, as Norman said earlier, at the national level, where announcements about the Medicare for All. I like to talk about improved Medicare for All, because the level of services, which includes, dental, vision, hearing, which is very important as a part of our overall care.
Sure, of course. So yeah, it's not just it's not just medical. I mean, it's
Right.
it's the vision, it's the mental health care, it's the dental, yeah, all that's
Right.
important for our overall health. Well, it's just like the dental care. You found out the last few years that if your teeth, if your gums are bad, that it can affect your heart. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
You find out that you have stress, it's going to affect your heart. Everything affects your heart, but everything is tied in together, so it's really important.
Yeah.
So this is good news. Things are moving forward.
Yeah, so I'd like to add,
Sounds
maybe
good.
this is a point to say, if people want to find out and stay informed about what's going on, they would go to our website, hcao.org, or look up Healthcare for All Oregon. It's easy to Google
Yeah.
and search that out. And there's a place where you can click on Statement of Support if you support the cause, and that just gets you in the loop of information. So we're building out statewide organizing where we get people in the loop for the organization. So as we go forward, they know how to activate or become more involved.
So is there information on there to help people who want to contact their legislators to kind of
Right.
some verbiage or something?
Right.
that would be-
There's some links in there you can follow. Something called ACT, and it's down there. You go and
Make
say-
it easy for people to do that.
Link. And of course, once they're in the system, we will send updates
Right.
and give them advice about what's going on
Good.
currently.
Good.
And if the people write to their politicians, they should preface the whole thing by giving them thanks for passing this bill through
Yeah,
first.
good point. I like
and
that.
then,
Yeah.
state the urgency of following it through.
They do pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And healthcare, as Norman's saying, is nonpartisan, not Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
We all,
Right.
we're all at
And
risk,
so
we
it
all-
doesn't matter who your legislator is. There is, across the board, people understand that this is a way to save lives and save money at the same time by this change up.
And who should be opposed to that,
Right.
right?
And the slogan should be healthcare is a human right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to say much more than that.
Yeah.
For everybody, it's cross gender, race, whatever, age.
Yeah.
The
It
whole
affects, I
gamut.
mean, yeah, that's all.
That's me
It
and
should
you
be obvious.
and everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
We shouldn't have to spell it out.
No. But,
We shouldn't have to
We shouldn't
fuss and
have to.
fight to get it right.
that sounds like a song, Norman.
That lyric just came to my head.
We're going there, Norman.
So yeah, I just need to get my guitar out and put some words behind it. Yeah.
So,
The music.
Next time I have you on, you're going to have to actually do a performance for
Okay.
us of that. I think
We can
that
do
would
that.
be
We can
great.
do that.
But speaking of that, there is an event that you've had. How many years have you done this now?
This is the 8th annual.
Wow, 8th annual Healing the Healthcare Blues
Right.
Festival.
Yes.
The
And
Inner City Blues
Inner
Festival.
City,
Healing
and
the
it morphed
Healthcare
into
Blues.
this. Yes, Inner City Blues Festival. So this year it's going to be on, what is the date?
April 27th.
April 27th. And it's at the Eagles Lodge in North Portland.
Right.
I went last year and I had so much fun. It was really great. It was really great. So this is a fundraiser for healthcare.
Healthcare for All Oregon Educational Fund.
And it's a huge musical event. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you have all sorts of people. So I think we have some pictures of some of the
Okay.
performers and some of the people at the event. So maybe we could pull those up and you can just kind of
Okay.
tell us about
All right.
some of
Happy
what
to
we
do-
can expect
happy
at
to
this
do
year's
that.
event. It was, yeah. Okay, so tell me what. This is not at the event.
This is
somewhere else.
the doctors and interns at OHSU. I went up there. Tom lectured about healthcare, and they went up on the Trillium Bridge, and we did a little video shoot up there. And these are young people that's studying to be doctors, and they were all ears, and they
I
was
bet
really,
they were, yeah.
wanting to know how it would affect the community at large.
That's great that
Yeah.
That education includes them.
Renee Mitchell.
Yeah, she was the
Yes,
MC
she's-
last year.
And she's there again, and she's an author, poet.
Right.
And also she's over the writing program over at Roosevelt right now.
At Roosevelt?
High School.
at Roosevelt. Roosevelt High School. Okay.
Yeah, she's
yes,
doing
yes.
great things with children. Lloyd Jones, this is the Bayou Boys, featuring Lloyd Mercy Jones right there. A rocking
He's
swamp boogie blues kind of a
Yeah,
band.
he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the crowd right there doing what they do.
It's a party.
And that's a Bloco Alegria, and that's a Brazilian dance troupe that stops the the clock over there and just dances and has a good time.
I think I've seen them. They play outdoor concerts.
A lot.
Yeah,
a lot of
I think
those,
I've seen an outdoor concert.
Steve Chesborough, he opens up the festival. He's been with us since the beginning for 8 years.
Wow.
He's been our opening guy. He's an international dobro blues player.
Cool. You have some.
The one and only phenomenal woman, Miss LaRonda Steele.
She is awesome.
She is awesome in all styles of music. She will be there singing some sweet jazz and blues and soul music, and she might throw in a gospel or two. There
you go. Yeah, and she's good at that. Yeah. And your
That's my lovely daughter,
Yes.
Lynanne Sylvester Miller, and she'll be with me doing what she does, make her daddy look good.
Yeah.
Nurse band. The nurse band, this is all nurses here. They'll be there on the community village stage playing ahead of procession of the Matters Health doctors. So they'll do a song and the procession will come out and join them. So
Matters Health
doctors and nurses,
yep.
yes indeed.
That.
And that's nurse band.
They kind of make it fun, you know.
Renato Caranto, he's from the Mel Brown, Jimmy Max. He's been with me since the Good in the Hood days when you and I were booking that show.
Yeah.
Working on that show. He's a saxophone extraordinaire, played with Merle Haggard back in the day, and he toured with Esperanza Spalding. So he's with us there as well.
Cool.
Great man.
That'll be great.
Yeah. Timothy James, a little young high school kid. I think he's a sophomore.
Wow, really?
Guitar player extraordinaire. We're doing a guitar generational jam at the end of my set. Timothy James and Tevis Hodge Jr. will be joining me to close my set out to burn up some guitar. It'd be like, I'm the old guy, of course.
Oh, you're the old one? Okay.
And the youngsters will be smoking it up, too.
Isn't that great?
Shoehorn International, tap dance, saxophone / harmonica player, educator as well. He does the hoofing. That's tapping, and he's just he's a solo guy. You might see him in the Pearl District on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Sometimes
I've seen him at different events too.
Yeah, he'll fly to Chicago or New York or to London or wherever, just be on the street doing his thing. Yeah.
How cool
So he's an awesome guy.
I know that.
I don't know who that guy is. Who's that?
Yeah. I know, but he wears nice hats all the time and nice suits. So.
Yeah, Barbara Quinn is the publisher of this poster. She's just an artiste extraordinaire.
Yeah.
And maybe
she made me look kind of smaller too.
Yeah.
I lost weight.
Well, Photoshop it.
If it's okay, this would be a good time to say where you can get tickets.
Yeah.
At tickettomato.com. It's up there on that poster, or you can go to our website, hco.org, and there'll be a link to it.
Good.
And then, see at the bottom, this is being live broadcast on KBOO radio.
That's great.
Right? The whole thing.
Simulcast.
And
Simulcast, yeah.
Simulcast. And in addition, we got 3 good sponsors to make it real quick. Rusty Truck Brewing comes all the way from Lincoln City. Morel Inc., who is very well known locally.
Yeah.
And in addition, Health Share for Oregon. And those elements, so people are coming up, and we got a list of band sponsors, so if you show up, you'll find out who, these band sponsors are showing up.
Planning on it.
Community is really stepping up for supporting this.
Isn't that great?
Community partnerships like yours, MetroEast, and this family of great technicians here, we appreciate that as well.
Oh, who's that?
That's Monica.
That was me last year at the event. Healthcare for all Oregon.
Couldn't leave you out.
Yeah, it was fun. I really did have a great time. It was great fun. So I hope to be there again this year.
And the Eagles is located on North Lombard and Exeter Street. Les Schwab gives us overflow parking. The Eagles donate the hall. We have Theodis Kaysen doing barbecue, so we'll have barbecue, blues, and whatever, It's community village, silent auction, a small raffle, and the community village is just informational tables for resources, community resources.
I'm looking forward to it. And there's one thing that you do at every one of these, and that's sing your song that you wrote that is kind of an anthem for this.
The Healing Healthcare Blues,
we have a little video of that. Can we show a little snippet of that?
Yeah.
So I think we should take a look at that before we run out of time here.
Everybody everybody out. That's what it's all about. I don't care what party you in, Democrat or Republican. I don't care what party you in, independent or nonpartisan.
Look at all of us are like tapping our feet.
The only way we can win, that was that last lyric, Healing the Healthcare Blues is the only way we can win. That means everybody.
Everybody.
The village, the family, the community.
Yes.
All of it.
We started tapping our feet because it's about the fun that is had because of how Norman organizes and brings these musicians together, and that's what it's all about, because you can, besides, that's what it's all about, right? That evening is fun and relaxation, enjoying yourself while we're doing a good cause.
Right.
Taking the troubles out of your mind for at least an evening of dancing and camaraderie.
Yep, I danced, I ate,
And music is a good medium to open the mind to an idea, you know, and this is a positive idea. And I'm happy and blessed to be able to have all the musician family in this city that will come and do for a benefit or for a cause, a good cause, and bring the A game. You know, and the A game is just to make people smile. And we need people to smile.
It's healthier.
And, yes, it is. And while they're smiling, we have them think about health care, and we have them boogie, and we want them to perspire a little bit on the dance floor, eat some barbecue.
Work off some of that barbecue.
Eat some barbecue. And meet some people that's thinking the same thing, you know. I think if we, you know, all are just, you know, connected for that cause, that's what makes it work.
You're good at that, Norman.
Thank you.
He's good at that. That's how I met him, I don't know how many years ago. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, we were on that. Now, I worked the Good in the Hood for 11 years. You know, we started that out. You were there.
I did it 7 years, I think.
Yeah, Sister Jane and Adriana Karch, the late Charles Ellis, Paul Knowles, Stu Dodge. Yeah.
Yeah, no, some of them I still see, but I never forget any of them because it was a really good,
Some
it was a great,
good times.
Yeah, and so, you know, you're still organizing and putting people together, and this is a really important cause. So thank you, both of you, for being on here to talk about that. Is there anything else that we need to know in the 1 minute or so we have left?
Well, I would like to forget, it's the people that come that make the fun, right?
Yeah.
So going to the website, tickettomato.com, to look it up, Healthcare for All, Healing the Healthcare Blues, or the Inner City Blues Festival, or going to our website, hcao.org, and get those tickets, show up, have a night of fun. I mean, we can come in, it starts 5 o'clock, music starts at 5:30, and you can go, you know, 5 or 6 hours of fun, and it's a lot of fun to be had.
And if people, for any reason, just haven't got their act together and gotten those tickets ahead of time, tickets at the door?
At the door.
At the door, yes.
Great. All right. I'm looking forward to it. I will see you both there.
And healthcare is a human right.
It is a human right. That's right. I heard that somewhere. Yes. And I look forward to the end of the show when we're all singing along with you in that song.
Healing the Healthcare Blues.
Because you get everybody in the place singing.
I'll close my set out with that song. And I'll have the youngsters rip out some guitar and just burn.
Shred on there. All right, sounds good. Thank you both very much.
Thank you, Monica.
Monica, thank you. This is a great opportunity to get our message out.
Just share it widely. Thanks very much for watching this segment of Community Hotline. Always love it, having these gentlemen on the show. But don't go away. We have more. We'll be talking with Meals on Wheels people in just a moment. So we'll see you in a few.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
The future is accessible. Everything we do today paves the way for tomorrow.
Como medios comunitarios, tenemos una parte importante en una cultura que está constantemente cambiando.
И нам нужно спросить себя, будет ли сообщение средств массовой информации в будущем одновременными и одноменными?
How do we share our collective resources within and between our communities?
Làm thế nào chúng ta có thể sử dụng công nghệ truyền thông chúng ta muốn làm cho tương lai của chúng ta tốt đẹp hơn?
Izazov za nas je da napravimo budućnost dostupnu za sve.
To start the conversation, join us at MetroEast Community Media.
Hi, I'm Greg Matthews, retired fire chief for the city of Gresham. I've been volunteering in the East County community for over 30 years, and I would encourage you to do the same. Want some ideas for how to get involved? Watch Community Hotline every Wednesday at 7 p.m., where you can learn about nonprofits working to make our world a better place. Tune in to Community Hotline every Wednesday at 7 p.m. See you then.
So we're here out at Rockwood DIY, and our goal is to bridge the digital gap.
Upon completion of this program, they get a free computer.
Working together made something really cool happen.
Changing language.
Pay your bills.
Like Google, Chrome.
So that everybody has access to the
same opportunities as other people have.
Hi, I'm Multnomah County Commissioner Jessica Vega Peterson. Tune in to Community Hotline Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and you'll find out about local issues and organizations making a positive difference in our community.
Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham, MetroEast Community Media. And now we're going to be talking with Meals on Wheels people. And here to represent Meals on Wheels people, we have Julie Piper Finley. You are the Director of Marketing and Communications. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you, Monica.
Thanks for being here. You've been on before and kind of shared some about what Meals on Wheels people is all about. But for those who maybe live under a rock and don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about the little history of the organization and what your mission is.
Meals on Wheels people has been serving older adults in the greater metro area for almost 50 years. It started in 1970 with 3 ladies who saw their neighbors weren't getting out and needed food, so they delivered 3 meals on paper plates wrapped in foil. So that was in 1970.
Good neighbors.
Today we do 5,000 meals every day. Wow. We serve in Multnomah, Washington, and Clark counties. Meals are available to anyone age 60 or older regardless of income.
Wow. And I bet a lot of people don't know that last one either.
It's true. I think there's a perception that it's only for poor people, but let's think about it. You may be a millionaire, but you live in a big mansion, you've broken your hip, and you live alone, and you can't cook for yourself.
Right.
So we'll bring you a meal.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen to anybody. It doesn't matter.
Exactly right. For some people, it's part of their end-of-life care. They're very frail, and this is what allows them to stay in their own home. For other people, it's temporary. They might have had an illness or an accident. They just need Meals on Wheels for a couple of weeks or a month or so, and then they get better.
It's a great organization in the way that you not only are sustaining people with food, but also with the companionship of the people that
it's very true. Our mission is that no senior will go hungry or experience social isolation. And part of our service is definitely that food, because people do need to eat every day.
Of course, yeah.
But the other half is that visit.
And it's really just as important, isn't it?
It's very true.
Yeah.
For some people, they live all alone. They might live in a rural part of, say, Clark County or maybe out in Corbett. They don't see anybody all day except for that Meals on Wheels driver.
And I bet there are a lot of people who look forward to that every single time they're coming.
Oh, it is so true. There are some people who get all dolled up for their Meals on Wheels driver because this is their big social event of the day. And we have ladies who put on their little pins and they do their hair and they're all ready for the Meals on Wheels driver.
Well, you know, it gets them up and gets them moving, which is a good thing, right?
That's true.
Gets them, you know, active and gives them something to look forward to. You know,
very much so.
You know, even if it's a temporary thing, you know, it can be very depressing to be ill or to be housebound for whatever reason. It can be, you know, and depression is not good for your health.
Well, think about it. Even if you've been at home alone with the flu for a week, you want to get out. You want to talk to somebody. And for someone who has a chronic illness or is just very frail and at home, it means a lot to them not to only have someone bring them a meal, but to talk to them for just a little bit every day.
Yeah. So also one thing I learned, and probably from one of your previous visits, or possibly with Brianna, who's with the Gresham Ambleside location, is that you're not only talking to people when, excuse me, when you're serving the food, but you're checking up on them to make sure that, that everything is okay. Is that right?
That's exactly right. And so if you are a regular driver and you see the same people every week, you get to know them. You know their habits, you know what they're like, you know when they're up, you know when they're down. Sometimes you realize they're just not right for some reason, or maybe they don't come to the door as quickly as they did before because they may be a little bit ill. The drivers report that to the center manager, someone like Brianna at our Ambleside Center. They can contact the next of kin, the family member, and say, gee, we're delivering to your mom and the driver noticed that she's a little bit slower or she's not feeling quite herself. Maybe you should check on her.
Wow. And that's a huge service.
It is, especially for people who live far away. So your mother might live here, but you live in Omaha. You can't check on your mom every day. You might call her, but you can't physically look at her and make sure she's fine. So to have that peace of mind to know that somebody who cares for your mom is checking on her every day is a huge piece of the puzzle for people who do live far away.
Yeah. What about if they don't answer the door at all?
We will, again, call the emergency contact and say, we tried to deliver the meal if we cannot get them on the phone ourselves. Say, we couldn't deliver the meal, you know, you need to check on your mom. Yeah. If we can't reach anyone, we will call authorities and say, we need to check on this person. So we don't just walk away.
Good.
One of the things that we will not do is we will not leave that meal if you don't answer the door. And so that's part of the program.
Because if you do, people may say, just leave it there.
Right. Or
but they're missing out on half of what they probably
Or if you leave it there and don't check to make sure they're okay, That's the deal. So if you're not there, we will not leave the meal, but we'll find out what happened. And sometimes it's really simple. Sometimes they went to the doctor and forgot to call.
Right.
We're hoping that's the situation, but sometimes it's not, and we've been able to intervene on their behalf.
Yeah, somebody could have fallen.
Exactly
They may
right.
hear you knocking, and they can't do a thing about it.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's a huge service to be able to do that. Tell me about. I know that Meals on Wheels people delivers meals. They also have some locations where people can come to have meals, because I know Ambleside down the street does that. People come and have meals there.
Right.
So tell me about that. Does every center have that, or how does that work?
We probably have 24 centers throughout the metropolitan area. So if you're not homebound and you can get out and about, we do invite you to come into one of our centers to have lunch. Lunch is served weekdays at midday. And most of the centers have a choice of entree daily. Many of them have ethnic meals. Some have soup made from scratch every day. We try to tailor the menu based on the community.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And so that's a good place for people to come socialize.
Exactly right. And that's also the hub where the Meals on Wheels go out from. So if you're a volunteer driver, we're not going to make you drive, a 40-mile route. We try to give you a route very close to where you pick those meals up. So for example, here in Gresham, you'll pick up your meals at the Ambleside Center around the corner here from your building, and you'll deliver within just a few miles of that center.
Well, speaking of volunteers, you can use volunteers kind of at whatever level they are willing to work. Is that kind
Pretty
of
much
right?
so. We depend on nearly 500 volunteers every single day to help us serve and deliver meals. So of course our greatest need is for Meals on Wheels drivers, but we can do all sorts of things with volunteers. You can serve coffee in the center. You can help pack the Meals on Wheels into the coolers. We have special event committees, board members. There's all kinds of things that you can do.
Good. So if people are looking for volunteer work, it's a good
Exactly
place.
right. You can visit our website at mowp.org and click on the big volunteer button.
The big volunteer button, can't miss it.
Right.
So you have an event coming up.
Yes.
A big fun event.
Yes.
That I had the pleasure of going to last year called Strides for Seniors. Tell me about that event and what it's for.
This event takes place on Saturday, April 20th at Portland International Raceway, and it's really meant to be a big, fun family event. We have a free pancake breakfast sponsored by the Diner Vancouver. We have costume characters. We have Barley from the Hillsborough Hops.
I remember that.
We have Blaze from the Trailblazers. We have a giant shoe that we have brought ourselves. That's our sort of our mascot. We have clowns from the Portland Rose Festival. There's vendor booths. There's Kids Zone, there's music, we have an MC, we have a project for children called Seedlings for Seniors, where they're planting little plants that we will deliver to seniors after the event.
That's great.
Ultimately, it's a 2-mile walk around the big track at Portland International Raceway. The idea is that people raise funds for Meals on Wheels people, and that we sort of have this big party and walk around the track.
We had great weather last year. I went, and it was a family thing. I took my daughter and my granddaughter, who was 3 at the time. Oh my gosh, she had such a blast just running around that track. And after she got her face painted, and it was really a good event, and it was very upbeat and fun.
That's the plan, that we want people to have a good time and just bring attention to the fact that we do have a lot of older adults here who need just that little bit of help with that food and that visit. Yeah. We also have a lot of people from our centers that participate. Yes. We had people in wheelchairs last year. We had some people in walkers. We had this one group of ladies that they weren't really fast, but they were committed to getting around that track, and they made it.
Good. And I think we have a video here that MetroEast put together.
Yes, you guys did a great job on our video.
Thank you. Well, I think we should show that, give people a feel for what the event's like. I think we should roll that now.
Stride for Seniors is an event to draw awareness to older people in our community who have a lot of needs, from housing to food insecurity. So we wanted to get people out to support Meals on Wheels people. That is one of the biggest needs, is senior nutrition. So we want to draw awareness to those needs and create a fundraising opportunity, have people come out and give some money to Meals on Wheels. Volunteers have been incredible. We've been here since 5 a.m. this morning setting up, and every day we use volunteers, 450 a day, just to get out the meals to about 16,000 seniors in the Tri-County area.
right, let's hear it for Stride for Seniors.
Wilsonville Subaru supports Stride for Seniors.
Stride for Seniors!
Stride for Seniors.
Stride for Seniors!
The funds from today's event will all be used to feed older people in our community that cannot get to the grocery store. They may be homebound. I think it's important just because we all have grandparents and parents that need assistance. It's an opportunity just to say, hey, we care about older people in our community. Come out, and this event gives a way for people to show that.
This is a fabulous service for people our age. Meals on Wheels! Changing lives, one meal at a time.
Stride for Meals on Wheels. Stride for Seniors.
There was a lot of people at that event.
We had about 2,000 people last year, and we're expecting at least 50% or 100% more this year. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's been going very well. I think we built up a lot of momentum.
First year, right?
Last year was the first year, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good start for a first year event.
Yeah, we think so. We are hoping that we can build this up to be so big that we don't fit there anymore. That's, of course, the ultimate goal.
Then where would you go? Let's see. It was really fun. So I'm hoping that you get your 100% increase. That would be super.
Yes.
So the money that you raise then is that it's going to just support the programs that you have.
Right. We receive about 70% of our annual funding from community donations. So that includes events like Stride for Seniors, our big donate dinner event in November, corporations, individuals, corporate and service groups. So we really do depend very heavily on the community for our funding.
So the food that you serve, is that purchased with?
Yes, it is purchased. That's another misconception, that we use donated food. Because our program is so very large and we're doing 5,000 meals every day, we have to purchase that food. We can't depend on donations, or there'd be days no one would get any food.
Right.
So we do have to meet some government regulations with that, because we do receive a little bit of our funding from the federal government. So we have to serve a certain amount of fruit, vegetables, protein, etc. So we purchase all of our food locally. We try to use organic produce whenever possible. We also use local farms if we can. We use organic chicken. We use milk from Alpenrose, which is a very long time local dairy. And so, yes, we do purchase all of our food.
That's impressive, and I didn't know that about using the organic food, and I knew that you did use some local food, but that's really really commendable.
Because we are such a large volume purchaser, our food service director has negotiated some really great contracts, of course, with these vendors. We do get sometimes very large donations from unusual sources that we can use. There's a group down at the Oregon coast that harvests fish for Native American tribes. Sometimes they have too much. They'll call and say, we've got 5,000 pounds of salmon, can you use it? So we'll send one of our little refrigerated vans down there to pick it up. In the fall, we have growers in the Hood River Valley that will bring those immensely large boxes of fruit to us, and so everyone will get a fresh pear from Hood River. All sorts of people come to us throughout the year with large quantities of donations.
You can't really turn those down, can you? Not those big ones. So tell me what else you've going on that you have going on. You mentioned something about the pancakes being provided by the diner?
Right. We have a new restaurant venture. It's called the Diner Vancouver. It's located up in Clark County. And it's in a restaurant unlike any other one in the entire country. So it's open daily from 7 to 2. We serve breakfast all day. And it's open to anyone in the community. If, however, you are over the age of 60 and you are enrolled in the Meals on Wheels program, you can donate for the cost of your meal. So this is a really different sort of concept.
So how does that work? So when you say donate for the cost of your meal,
right?
What?
We have a special senior menu. So if you come in and you'd say, I would like to order off the senior menu, we will give that to you, and they make a little note on your ticket when you order, and then when you receive your bill, you can donate what you'd like for the meal. So let's say your meal costs you $10 and you have $6 in your pocket, that's what you can put down.
Oh, that's great.
The other thing that's unusual about this restaurant is we do not accept tips. All of our staff is paid a living wage. They have benefits like paid health care and vacation,
That's
like
impressive.
a regular employer. So rather than a tip line when you get your little bill, it will say a donation. So we encourage people to make a donation to Meals on Wheels people as opposed to a tip. And then all proceeds from the restaurant go back into our program to help feed seniors.
I love that. That's very clever and very forward thinking, you know?
It really is a brainchild of our CEO, Suzanne Washington. She's really,
was in that.
yes, who was in the video there. She's really a very forward-thinking, entrepreneurial kind of person. And this was her idea. And it took a couple of years to get the funding together, to find the right location. And as with any venture, it took way longer than we thought it was going to.
Of course.
Partway through, there was a stainless steel shortage. Who knew there was such a thing?
No,
and with all the
had no
stainless
idea.
steel in a restaurant, that kind of slowed things down. But we opened in February, and it's been tremendously successful.
So if people want to find out where that is and how to go, is it on your website then?
It's on our website, and also the diner has its own domain. You can go to thedinervancouver.org. You can look at the menu there. We have pictures of our food. We have great reviews on both Google and Yelp. If you'd like to see our reviews and pictures that other people have taken of our food.
I think that's a great concept. I like that a lot. So if people are interested in supporting Meals on Wheels, they can go to the diner.
Yes.
They can attend this event, the Strides for Seniors event.
Right.
You can just donate money yourself, or you can get a team together, or you can ask people for donations to donate to your walk.
With Stride, you can register right up to the day of the event at strideforseniors.org. You can start a team, join a team, donate to someone else's team. If you just don't feel that organized and you just want to show up on the day of the event, we are happy to have you.
Good. Yeah, I think last year I joined the Ambleside Amblers team. But my daughter wasn't sure if she was going to be able to till the last minute, so she, that day registered. And it was just easy. It was very easy.
I work for Meals on Wheels, and I had friends who didn't show up until the actual day of the event. So it happens.
Really, we'll be there. Yeah, that happens. But you'll take them.
Exactly right.
So Portland International Raceway, North Portland, right off I-5 there.
Yes.
It's easy to get to.
Plenty of parking.
Yes, there is. That's one of the good things about it. So anything else that we should know about what's going on with Meals on Wheels?
Well, we do have some fun news that this year the Portland Rose Festival chose Meals on Wheels people as its official charity. So
that's huge.
That's a
huge.
Wonderful benefit for us.
It sure
and
is.
we will be all over the place during Rose Festival. We will have a float in the Starlight Parade on June 1st. We will have a float featuring the senior court in the Grand Floral Parade on
really
June 8th.
Like that.
And behind both of the floats, we will have the Meals on Wheels people Precision Ladle Drill Team.
Ladles like?
Yes, we have gigantic ladles and whisks from our industrial kitchen, so sort of Jack and the Beanstalk size. So we have a routine put together with a dozen employees who will be marching behind our floats doing things with ladles. Yes.
Oh,
so
Lord.
Our goal was to put the Alaska Airlines synchronized luggage drill team to shame.
Yeah.
So that's our goal.
Is this your first year doing this?
Yes, this is the first year we've had the Precision Ladle Drill Team in an official capacity. We've had it a few smaller parades in the past.
Well, all I can say is people better have their phones ready.
Yes.
To capture that.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fun. I can see it being, posted all over the social
that's what we're hoping
videos.
for.
Yeah.
The other thing that is another wonderful thing about the Rose Festival and involvement is that if you remember, there's usually Fleet Week, the week before the Grand Floral Parade,
where all the ships come in.
Coast Guard and the Navy and the Canadian military come in, and we are working with the Rose Festival to try to get some of the sailors from the ships to deliver to veterans that we deliver to in downtown Portland. And so we're making this volunteer.
Want to cry.
We're making this volunteer opportunity available for the sailors, so they have a great volunteer opportunity once they get into Portland. And then it makes it really special for our veterans as well to know that an active military person has taken enough interest in them that they want to deliver to them. So
really
we're
special.
working with them to make that happen on Friday, June 7th. So
great.
if you see sailors walking around downtown with some Meals on Wheels coolers, that's what they're doing.
Great. Tell them thank you for your service.
Yes.
In the service and
In the
for Meals
service
on
of
Wheels.
older adults, that's right.
That's wonderful. Oh, that's great. That'll be fun. That's a great addition to the Rose Festival, which is such a huge event in this Portland metro area.
It's really
anyway.
true. They also have a new feature this year at City Fair downtown on the waterfront. They have a Rose Festival museum tent where they're going to have a lot of artifacts from the Rose Festival throughout the years. Meals on Wheels people will not only have an exhibit there, we'll have one of our bike trailers, since we have people who can deliver on bikes. And we're hoping to have a cooking demonstration down there as well. So if they come down to City Fair, hopefully they can come visit us in the tent and see our cooking demonstration.
Wow, that's great. That'd be fun. That'd be fun to check that out. I have my own memento from, I think it was when I was 10 years old, and Sally Field was the Grand Marshal.
Yes.
And I have her autograph from
That's
the
very
Rose
exciting.
Festival. That's all I've got. But I can't wait to see the ladle.
The precision ladle drill team.
Precision ladle drill team.
That's right.
And the senior court.
Yes, we have a float with 6 older ladies who are representatives from our neighborhood dining centers. We had an application process, so they turned in their applications, and we are selecting them one by one, just like they do the senior court for the Rose Festival, and we'll be revealing them throughout the weeks before the float is debuted on June 8th.
So are these clients, people that you serve?
Yes, these are diners. These are diners at our
into your
center.
centers. I think you should, do a press release and send us one so we can put it on our little Facebook page or something with it whenever you get
Yes, you can see the reveal. We're starting it after Stride on social media, one per week, leading up to Rose Festival.
I think that's fun. You have some really fun things going on at Meals on Wheels, people.
We do. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is that while we may deliver to an older clientele, we are not stuffy at Meals on Wheels, people. We like to have fun. Our clients like to have fun. We want to just make the whole thing a barrel of laughs.
That's good. That's a good thing. I have one last question about the volunteer experience. So when you get new volunteers, do they go through any kind of training?
They do. All of our volunteers go through a criminal background check. We want to make sure that our clients are safe. And then they must undergo a training, read a handbook, all sorts of things, so that they are not just thrown out there and they have to guess. For our regular drivers, they usually go along with another driver first to see what the route is like. And so yes, we do train all of our volunteers.
And if they have issues when they're out, then there's always somebody to call back to at headquarters or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, good. I assume you're always looking for more volunteers?
We can always use volunteers. There's never enough. And as I said, you can go to mowp.org and click on the volunteer or the donate button.
What I remember about that I thought was impressive was that if you could only do one afternoon a week, or if you could only do one afternoon a month, that you can work with it.
Exactly right. We also have what we call adopt a route. So let's say that you work in an office and you really can't afford the time to do it once a week. Your office can adopt a route. And so you might do it Tuesday, I'll do it the second Tuesday, the guy in the cube down the hall does it the third Tuesday. So while you only have to do it maybe once every 6 or 8 weeks, Meals on Wheels knows that company is going to be delivering that route every single week. And that's a really good way to get involved, both on a corporate level and to give your employees a volunteer experience without completely shutting down your office because that one person's gone every week.
Great way. It's kind of a good team building thing too, because you can come back and talk about the experience.
Exactly right.
And how good it makes you feel.
Well, and then if you have a meeting or you're ill, there's a coworker who knows the route who can do it for you.
Take care of it for you. Great. I love it. Thank you so much, Julie, for bringing us up to speed on what's going on with Meals on Wheels. It's some really fun stuff. And I look forward to seeing you at the Strides for Seniors event.
Thank you. We hope to see you there.
Okay. Thanks for watching Community Hotline tonight. There's some really good, fun stuff going on in the community, but it's really supporting important causes. So do check it out on the websites we've provided tonight and get out there and do some volunteer work yourself. I'm Monica Weitzel. We'll see you here next week on Community Hotline.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mountain Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
Priceless.
Valuable. Community media lets you tell your story to fit your needs.
My favorite thing about community media is it's got to be the people's shows.
I think my favorite one is Karaoke Oli.
Oh, Karaoke Oli's a good one.
We sing live karaoke on TV for an hour.
Hamster versus Monster.
Nap Time with Kittens.
Community media brings programming like Chambers of Commerce, the Faith Community.
Psycho Chicken.
Do you have any UFO shows?
No, I wish we did.
I would like one of those too.
Yeah.
Children's programs, high school sporting events, and of course, the ubiquitous city council meetings.
Only when we hear from folks in their own voices with their own stories can we truly connect.
The future is accessible. Everything we do today paves the way for tomorrow.
Como medios comunitarios, tenemos una parte importante en una cultura que está constantemente cambiando.
И нам нужно спросить себя, будет ли сообщение средств массовой информации в будущем одновременными и одноменными?
How do we share our collective resources within and between our communities?
Làm thế nào chúng ta có thể sử dụng công nghệ truyền thông chúng ta muốn làm cho tương lai của chúng ta tốt đẹp hơn?
Izazov za nas je da napravimo budućnost dostupnu za sve.
To start the conversation, join us at MetroEast Community Media.
It is so important for me to have the right to be able to speak what I want to speak and talk about what I want to talk about.
If you start shutting this person up and shutting that person up and shutting this person up, that's not America.